Teshikola. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much, Merhaba, and hoş geldiniz also from my side. Thanks for the kind introduction. I will give, however, some additional information. I'm 53 years old in the meantime. I'm married. My wife comes from Brazil. We have a boy and a daughter. They are living in Brazil. My only company where I have worked in the meantime is BOSCH. So in the meantime, that's 26 years. And something like 15 years or even more, I worked abroad. That means in France, in India, and now in Turkey. So, and I would like to give you some thoughts from our company regarding innovation. And before I start, also a question with raising the hands. Maybe who has in the meantime a smartphone from you? That means more or less everybody. Now let's look 5 years back. That was in 2011 or 2010. Who had a smartphone from you in 2010? Okay, some 20%. And let's look 10 years back from today, that means in 2005. Who had a smartphone from you in 2005? Okay, one, maybe, okay. So, very little. And what I want to show you, in not 10 years or a little bit more than 10 years, there was a completely change in the industry and also in telephone production and companies who produce telephones, and nobody 10 years or 15 years back would have thought that the innovation is running so fast. By the way, I got my first smartphone, some 6 years back. Now, innovation, and I would like to show you a little bit about BOSCH in general, what we are doing regarding innovation. Something about BOSCH in Turkey, and then, let me say, half of the presentation is more concrete. What we are doing in Bursa, in our plant there, and what possibilities can we offer. Let's start BOSCH in general. We are organized in 4 business sectors, and the first one, which takes about 60% of our turnover from our complete company, is in mobility solution. That means everything which is linked to cars. Then we are talking about industry technology, smaller part, which is taking care about machine building and everything what we need for going deep in special processes. The next one is consumer goods. Maybe there the most of you know BOSCH. Yeah, these are the white goods, and these are mostly the drilling machines. Yeah, but BOSCH is much more, and as I've mentioned, 60% is not at all white goods and is not at all drilling machines. And the fourth one, which is coming more and more in the meantime, is the energy area, where, for example, we are building in Manisa these heat exchangers for heat treatment. That's the company. The figures are from 2014. In the meantime, we have already shown preliminary figures. That means we have had 49 billion turnover worldwide. In the meantime, it's 70. We have 360 associates, 1,000 associates. That's also a little bit more in the meantime. We are located in 150 countries. And that's maybe a special thing from BOSCH, we are applying for 4,700 patents in a year. This number for 2015 will be approximately 6,600 to 500. Why this big step in increase in 2015? Because we have taken over 2 big companies where we have had a 50% share in the former times. Now, R&D, research and development. You see the figures. 45,000 engineers are working at BOSCH worldwide regarding research and development. 1/3 of it are working for software development. And there you see a change at Bosch. Bosch was in the past a very mechanical industry, maybe electronic, but now the way clearly goes towards IT. What are the changes going on at the moment in the industry? And I've chosen the so-called Industry 4.0 situation. And the development, what happened in the last hundreds of years, it started with the first industry revolution in 1780, approximately, where the first time we have used machines for industry production. 100 years later, the first assembly lines in slaughterhouses. Once more, 100 years afterwards, the first electronic devices and for ECUs. And now it's not 100 years where we talk about the fourth industry revolution. It's maybe from today 10 years, 15 years, something in between. And there is a huge amount of changes which are coming at the moment. When we look back in the year 96, that's approximately 20 years back, we have had 40 million of people who have had connected with the internet. Today, 20 years later, approximately everybody. 90% of the world population is connected to internet. Now, connection with internet for people, that's one. Connection in the internet with machines or with devices has changed even more. We are coming from 6 million computers 20 years back, and we are running to 50 billion connective devices in 2020. Huge change. Yeah? And I'm coming to the point afterwards. Nobody has thought about to park your car with your mobile phone, yeah, standing outside of your car. Or you have forgotten switching off the light in your house when you have arrived in a holiday and you just switch off or on the light because you want to show that somebody is in the house. I'm coming to this point afterwards. Now, let me come a little bit more for the game changers in the automotive industry. And I'm not talking about this year or next year, I'm really talking about the next 5 years, maybe the next 10 years. The connectivity is one of the key areas. Why not using the car? Now, in Turkey, there is not so much snow, sometimes in Istanbul, and then it's the cows. Yeah, I've also experienced this already 2 times. Why not using with the sensor of a car which is running in front of you, who recognize attention, we will have a very difficult situation on the road, that he informs the cars coming next to him and behind him. Yeah, that's maybe a wish or an idea, but the trend is going to this area. But therefore, we need that the machines or that the cars are communicating together. Electromobility, that's the trend which is ongoing. And we are talking in the automotive industry about a tipping point. Tipping point means when are engines with electric devices as expensive as normal engines, if gasoline or diesel engines. And we are talking something about 2025, that the engines based 100% on electricity are as costly or as cheap like the normal ignition engines. And autonomous driving, we prognose that somewhere in 2025, you can sit in your car, you do your mails, you do your telephone calls, you discuss with a friend in the car, and the car drives automatically where you want to go. So it's 10 years. It's far away, but it's also only 10 years. And you remember the point, who had a smartphone 10 years earlier. So it's nothing. Now, automotive was one thing. I jump now to the smart homes. And the topic, what you can do with your cell phone or with your smartphone, that's huge. You can control in some years your complete house. When you are leaving your company and when you have something in your furnace, you can switch on the furnace that the pizza is ready when you are coming home. You can order milk or whatever you have in your fridge, because in the fridge there's a camera who controls and who compares what you want always having in the fridge, that this is ordered automatically. So key there is that the things are communicating to each other. Our CEO, therefore, when he took over Bosch some years back, he has decided all new products which we develop must be able to get internet connection by themselves. Now that's a little bit of history regarding innovation at Bosch. There is a laser where we have worked together with a laser company who is producing laser machines, together with a university in Germany, University of Jena, and some institutes, and we have done really research work. These lasers, in the meantime, are running in series production also in our Bursa plant. That means that was done 2013. 3 years later, 2 years later, these high-end technology research results are in series production in Turkey. Now, Bosch in Turkey. Some figures you can read faster than myself. We have some 15,000 associates working in Turkey. We have invested in 2014 200 million of euros. And maybe a figure which I found very impressive, 1% of the overall Turkish export is done from our company. Now let's come still more concrete. Bosch in Bursa. We have 3 locations in Bursa. They are working, in the meantime, some 7,500 employees. That means that's the size of some company which was presented before, only in one location. We have invested only in 2015, last year, 220 million euros. An incredible number. No other plant in the Bosch world has invested so much money. And for sure, a huge amount of investment overall. There is a small film. I have only one film, so just bear with me. Yeah, we are Bosch. That's, let me say, our slogan, what we have developed in the last years. That shows also that the people are really being and living it like a family, and the people who are joining Bosch, not so many are leaving Bosch because there is something which more or less also attracts the people. Now, let me go a little bit more in detail. Yeah, so you have seen some of our products. We are producing in Bursa injectors for the automotive industry. Mainly our customers are in Europe. And you can imagine every new car which starts running in Europe has injectors inside, now for the gasoline engines or for the diesel engines. And every fourth car has injectors which are built in Bursa. Yeah, very easy. And if you count the car, how many are produced in Europe, yeah, you come to the number that 40 million injectors are produced in Bursa. Yeah, or 120, 130,000 in an hour. Yeah, that's one of the key areas. And doing this, not in tolerances which are this huge, in tolerances which are maybe a tenth of the thickness of our hairs. Now, 40 vehicle brands are delivered from Bursa, that's okay, and our technology, there's a lot of discussion at the moment ongoing. We can ensure with our products that really we achieve the exhaust gases. Now, R&D center, what are they doing? And I'm talking about the R&D center in Bursa. We have more than 200 people working there. We have more than 20 million budget. We have 50 million euro invested. And we have, in the meantime, in last year, we have more than 20 patents, which are 100% coming out of our R&D center in Bursa. Competencies, you see some of them on the screen. I do not want to tell all. For sure, finite element method, that's one of the key areas. Failure mode and effect analysis, CFD, and also 3D modeling. Some techniques, and there is one technique when I made the presentation, or my assistant put together this presentation for me, there was this figure with, we have a helium test where we control one bubble which is coming out of a non-sealing surface in 3 years. Can you imagine a bubble of gas, yeah, which is 1 cubic centimeter or even less, comes out of not density area in 3 years, and these we are able to measure. We are able to measure micrometers. A hair, once more, has approximately 60 micrometers in diameter. And that's the topic where Bosch is strong in. Very fine geometry and producing these things in very high number. I'm coming back. This week I was in Germany because we have discussed there what's next developing in Bursa. And so the next step in more content-driven development in Bursa was decided. So we are looking forward that these numbers, what you have seen recently, are even further increased. That's development. Development for me, as a responsible technical person for these 3 locations in Bursa, is not only R&D, it's also what we are doing in production, because there finally we make earning money or we lose money if we are doing this more efficient or less efficient. There are some areas where we are focusing logistics, that when the cars are coming, carrying pieces, they directly communicate with a gate, and we know where pieces are and how much have been taken out of the stock. Automatically the stock is replaned, and also we know where are our products in the material flow. Data mining, we have a huge amount of data, incredible huge amount, but at the moment we are not using it. So the question is, what can we do with this data to predict that a process which is running more or less stable but somehow derives, that we can detect that the process derives earlier, that we take the first piece of scrap.